Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I wanted to show you guys what I do for my makeup on a daily basis for work. I currently work full-time as a driving instructor, so what that entails is me being in a car for 8 hours straight. And because we're dealing with the pandemic right now, I hardly ever take off my mask. So I had to kind of adapt my makeup routine to be a little bit more simple and easy to do in the morning that doesn't require a ton of time. This may change as we go into the summertime, but as of now, this is what I've been wearing, and I'd love to show you guys my routine, so let's just jump right into it. So a couple of these products are not what I wear every single day, but the look itself, the concept, is my daily routine. So it just depends on what products I have in front of me. If I have something new that I've been excited to try out, I'll kind of interchange stuff, and we've got a couple in here that I've been testing out, so I will let you know which ones those are. So I do always start with a primer. I feel like it really helps with the longevity of makeup. Today I want to use the Milani Rose Primer Prep and Hydrate. Really like this stuff. I feel like this adds great hydration to my face throughout the day. I love the way it feels, especially in the morning when I've just woken up. I'm tired and the smell of this kind of wakes me up. It's kind of that sweet rose scent, and it's got a little bit of a tackiness to it, so it helps adhere makeup even longer than without. Another one of my favorite primers that I like to use on the daily, I've shared before in many videos, is the NYX Marshmallow Primer. Love that stuff. And while I'm letting that soak into the skin, I want to throw on some brows. Now, for every day, I don't sit and chisel my brows out so that they look perfect, but your brows frame your face. So this is a great step to have in your routine, even on the laziest days. It really helps your eyes look more awake and everything put together, and that is something that shows outside of the mask. So what I've got in front of me and that I've been using a lot lately is the Goof Proof Brow Pencil by Benefit Cosmetics. This is what it looks like. This is the travel size, and I literally just kind of throw this in the brow. I don't really worry about carving the edges. I don't want to like color outside the lines too much, but I feel a night and day difference when I have my brows done versus when I don't have my brows done. Brows are funny to me. They're like one of the steps I want done the most, but I really don't like investing time into doing them. I just want them to be done. And then I always take a spoolie and I brush through the brows just to kind of evenly disperse that product, soften the color a little bit, soften any harsh lines. And we are gonna set the brows at the very, very end. So then I go straight into my face product. So normally I usually wear, the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer. This is what the bottle looks like. This is a shade that I mix with that lighter one to get like a tan shade for when I'm tan. But anyway, that is a really good everyday. Lately, I have been testing out the Fenty Beauty Ease Drop Blurring Skin Tint. I have been really liking this. This is really lightweight on the skin. It does a really good job evening out my skin tone. It does still show your skin through, so it's definitely not a full coverage by any means. It claims to be light to medium coverage, so it is buildable, but it's not going to give you full coverage. The bottle says to shake it before use, so I always give that a little maraca action. And then I'm putting some on my Morphe M439 brush. I start with like that much, I don't know. And then I just start dispersing that over the skin. I have this in the shade 6. I just start blending this out. Guys, this foundation brush is fantastic. I have yet to find one that I like better than this. It just does such a good job. I like the smell of this stuff. I can't even decipher what it smells like, but it just smells good. Don't know what it is. I got none on my forehead. Good job, Rach. That's like the part that actually shows. I haven't had this for a terribly long time, but based off of what I have seen from wearing it, I haven't had a ton of transfer. It's done a good job being decently long wearing, and especially for an everyday basis under a mask routine, this idea skin tint, tinted moisturizer stuff is perfect. It's exactly what I need. Blend it down the neck so we don't have a line of foundation. And then what I do is I grab a sponge. This is something I'm testing out today. This is the e.l.f. sponge. This is the Total Face sponge. So cheap, $5. I'll take a little bit more on the sponge and then mainly focus it on the outer areas right here. The masks that I wear are just the disposable ones every day, and they usually stop about here, and then you know, there's the strap, so this area shows right here. And then of course the forehead. So that's kind of where I focus my main coverage. I'm not gonna worry about the inside of the face as much because it doesn't show. And I don't know, for me, I'm just like, why layer up a ton of makeup underneath the area that nobody can see? Really love the way this looks. That was a great sponge. Geez, that was really nice and soft. I'm liking it so far. Way cheaper than the Beauty Blender, so that's a great dupe. I do use a little bit of concealer. Today I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. This is in the shade Fair Beige, and I just do some on my forehead and then right here on the inner eye area to cancel out the blue, and then I'm gonna go in and blend that out because that area does show, and I want some brightening. I want to look more awake than I feel in the mornings usually. And then I'm gonna go in with a powder and a very, very fluffy brush. I don't want a ton of product. I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder for this. Dipping that in, and I'm gonna start sweeping that over where we just applied concealer. It's kind of getting everywhere. I am gonna take this along the face to set that skin tint. Then next, I'm gonna go into bronzer. I do put bronzer on the whole face because again, the perimeters of the face show, not as much right here, but I still do it. I'm gonna use a fluffy Luxie brush. This is the 520 in the Glimmer set. I'm loving this Fenty Beauty Sunstalker bronzer. It's my favorite. This is in the shade Into Sun, and I'm gonna load that up and start going along the perimeter of the face to warm everything back up, give this tired girl some life. Has anybody else felt like going to work since the pandemic, or just doing anything really, has just been so much harder and just feels like more effort than it used to? I really don't know why that is. I just feel so much more tired all the time than I ever did before. It's weird. I do take some of that along the chin and down the neck. And then I do take just a little bit and go along the sides of the nose because sometimes the top right here will peek through my mask. Blush is definitely one of those ones where it just depends on the day what I want to use. Recently I did pick up the Jaclyn Cosmetics bronzer and blush duo, mainly because one, I love Jaclyn Hill. I think she's amazing. And two, I was so intrigued by this particular shade. This is in the color Lilac Love. The bronzer shade is called Top Tan. Currently this is just a little bit too light for me, but in more the winter months I think this will be really great. But this blush is beautiful. I love that it has that lilac undertone, but it's still very pink and it's a very flattering color. So I'm going to take a blush brush and go into that shade and pop that on the apples of the cheeks. And this blush is very light. Like, this isn't something that's crazy pigmented, so you will be building it up to show the color, which is kind of nice because you can have it as natural as you want, which is how I've been wearing it lately. I'm having just a light, soft, lavendery pink flush to the skin. I think it's such a beautiful color. And then I'm gonna go into my Beauty Blender, pat around the edges of the blush and the bronzer just to make sure everything's really seamless. Looks like it's just coming from within. Looks very natural. And I am gonna go along the face just to kind of press in that powder with the skin tint and everything that we've got going on. Has anybody tried Fenty's new Bright Fix product that they released recently? I have been so intrigued. Like, I cannot find a concealer that fully conceals or color corrects the dark blue on the inner part of my eye. If you've tried it, let me know in the comments what you thought about it. I'm thinking about picking it up. Depending on the day, sometimes I will wear highlight, but a lot of the time what I love to use is this product from Clinique. This is the Uplighting Illuminating Powder, and I have this in the shade 1 Nude Glow. This is what it looks like in the pan. It's a pressed powder with a light, kind of healthy radiance to it. It's gorgeous on the skin. I'll just go in with my same powder brush and I'll dip into this, and instead of highlight, I just take this all along the face where I want some glow. Do you see what that just added? It's just like, oh, so pretty. I especially love bringing this along the side perimeters of the forehead to add some glow up top, but not right here in the center where I put concealer, because I don't want to look super sweaty, but I want to look glowy and healthy underneath that mask. I love this step. It's such a natural, beautiful glow from within. Oh, huge fan. For the eyes, because the eyes are pretty much the main thing that people see when you wear a mask, I do want my eyes to pop and look awake, but I don't want to spend a ton of time on an eye look just on the regular when I'm getting ready for work. So one of my favorite things to do is use my face products for my eyes. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm gonna go back into my bronzer. I'm gonna take a crease brush and I'm gonna work that into the crease. We're gonna use this as just a transition shade to deepen the crease and add some dimension to my eyes so it doesn't just look flat. Do you see the difference here? That's what we want. And it's very cohesive. It matches what we have on the face. Everybody's working together. And then I take a little bit on that same brush, pinch it, and just run that along the bottom lash line. Then I'm gonna grab another crease brush, even fluffier. This one's from Luxie. We're gonna go back into that blush shade from Jaclyn, dip into that, and then I'm gonna run that along the top of the crease there to warm that up. I love tying in the blush to the eye look. And again, this blush is like so light, and where that could be a downfall if you're comparing that to a very pigmented blush, this one you can't really go overboard with it. I haven't used any of the other bronzer blush duos from Jaclyn. I only have this one, so I can't speak for the other colors. And then same deal, run that along the bottom lash line, just pinching the same brush. We're just overlapping these two colors. And what's fun is you can kind of base the blush color to what shirt you're wearing. Like I very purposely picked this blush because I was wearing a purple shirt, and this blush works perfect with it. It's not too loud, but it's just cool toned enough that it goes really well with this. So if I'm wearing like a green shirt, sometimes I'll go more of a nude colored blush, and so the eyes will be a lot warmer. If I'm wearing a pink shirt, maybe I'll go a little more rosy with things. It's fun. You can just kind of mix it up, and it's just the change of one product and it looks super nice. And then the last step that I put on the eyes, I grab a highlighter. Any highlighter works. This is one of my favorites. This is from Becca. This is in the shade Opal, and I just put that all over the lid. And this isn't anything crazy metallic, but it just adds a little bit of light to your lid so that when you open up your eyes, you have some brightness. And I do layer this like 2 coats, but if you want to really amp up that shine, you can spritz a brush and go in that way. For me, I just use my fingers in the morning because again, I don't even make time for breakfast in the morning. I need to do better about that. I usually end up taking like an Atkins shake with me to drink on the way to work. I always get hungry later. It's not enough. I need to do better. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And then I'm just gonna take that crease brush and run over the crease to make sure there's no sloppy edges with that highlight into the crease. I want that to be nice and smooth. Usually I will curl my lashes. That's another one of those things I can't find. So we're just gonna go into mascara. I am super interchangeable with my mascaras. Today I want to use Maybelline's Lash Sensational Sky High mascara. This was like TikTok viral and I got it recently and I've been trying it out. So I'm just gonna start building up the lashes, and something I've noticed is this really likes to clump a lot. So I wiggle as I go along. I need to get one of those lash combs because I don't like it when my lashes clump together. But this mascara does a really good job about lengthening the lashes. I got some on my face, whatever, we'll get it later. I do love this mascara on the bottom lashes because the wand is so skinny that it's really easy to get to them. So there's our lashes. Not terrible. For my last few times trying it out, it's not been my favorite product. I have other mascaras that I feel like are so much easier and do what I want with my lashes a lot quicker and with less effort. So for that reason, it's not my top favorite reach. Usually I'll use the L'Oreal Lash Paradise or the Bite Beauty Upswing mascara. Those are my 2 favorites right now, but I absolutely love it on the bottom lashes. For lips, it just depends on the day. Sometimes I just throw on a lip oil or a lip balm, call it good. And then other times I'll just wear a gloss, something hydrating. So I'm not having to like feel my lips get drier and drier throughout the day because that's just really uncomfortable. Today I'll use a really hydrating lip gloss that I've enjoyed. This is from Neutrogena. This is the Hydro Boost Hydrating Lip Shine. This is what it looks like in the tube. This is in the color 20 Berry Brown. I think it is the perfect shade shade for our blush and bronzer duo here. So I'm just gonna go along the lips, add some color, and I'm not gonna go super heavy with it because I don't want it to be super gloppy. I want as little transfer on my mask as possible. Now we're gonna set the face. I will use one of two setting mists, just depending on what I'm feeling. My two favorites for longevity makeup and as little transfer as possible is the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist as well as the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Mist. I'm gonna use the Morphe today. I'm gonna spritz this everywhere. I'm gonna fan that and let that dry. And once it's mostly dry, I'm gonna go back with the Beauty Blender all over the face. This is my favorite step in any makeup routine. To me, this just presses everything into the skin. It tones back anything that may have gotten a little too heavy, and it just blends everything together so smooth. For the very last step, I'm gonna set the brows. This is a recent product and I've been loving it. And can we just talk about the packaging? If I'm being honest, that's like what drew me to the product. This is the XOXO, I really don't know how to say that. This is their Airbrow Fluff and Hold Treatment Gel. They do have some tinted brow gels, but this is just the clear one. So I'm gonna go through the brows so that the brows are not moving throughout the day. That is one of my biggest pet peeves. A very recent change that I've made to my makeup routine. I used to set the brows before going into the rest of my makeup routine, but I noticed that as I started doing it at the end, they set so much better. So I think it may have something to do with the fact that, you know, I'm blending out foundation, I'm putting brushes all by my face, so it's probably bumping everything around, and they were just being knocked loose. I love this stuff. It's really, really good, and it's just so beautiful. I just want all of my makeup to be iridescent like this. Is that too much to ask? Yikes. Forgot an inner corner highlight. And I'm gonna throw just a little bit of that highlight on the inner corner and the brow bone just to help those eyes pop even further, since again, that's literally all people can see right now. And there you have it, friends. My everyday work makeup routine. And to be totally honest, mornings where I just don't feel like doing this much or I sleep in longer than I should, I'll throw on tinted moisturizer, skin tint, whatever, something light, do bronzer and throw on some mascara and call it good. This is such an easy look to do, and it requires pretty little makeup because we are reusing products that we used on the face, on the eyes. So it doesn't require separate eyeshadow palette. You can just reuse products throughout your face and make it all very cohesive, and it looks gorgeous. Thank you guys for watching this tutorial. I hope it was helpful. I hope that there's some tips and tricks that you can pick up. Let me know in the comments if you've ever thought to use your bronzer and blush on your eyes. Is that something you already do? Is that totally new to you? What do you think of it? If you are new here, hi, my name is Rachel, and I would love for you to be a part of the family. You can do so by hitting that subscribe button, and if you would like to be notified every single time that I post, click on the bell after you've subscribed and you will receive a notification each time there is a new video. I love you guys so much. I will see you in my next video. Bye!